was his debut. So he's had a pretty good start to his Test career.
Yeah, he's looked really comfortable at the crease. I thought the very first ball of the day, Mitchell Starc charging in, a little bit of swing away, and he was just solid as a rock on the front foot. And I think that's one of the keys to having success at Test match level, is having a good, solid defence. On a pitch like this, you can wear the bowlers down, and you know the runs will come. Showing good concentration. I like the look of this guy.
Mitchell Starc, we're just looking to get that one to come back into left-handed, trap in front of an LBW. That one there was just going down the leg side. Just didn't quite get the line right. Now have a look at the shiny side of the ball there. Wrapped on the pads in front, occasionally taking the one away. He's got a deep point, Mitchell Starc, but that's probably really for the bad delivery. It's the good ones that get that outside edge that run down to the third man. Two catching on the leg side.
Wider, it doesn't seem to come back as much. The straighter balls seem to dart down the leg side a little bit.
Well, the wider ball, it's got more angle to come back in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes the straighter one will just need to go a fraction, then bang, it goes down the leg side because the angle's not as great. But when it's chucked out wide, it's too much of an angle to come back in. That's a good delivery. Just held up in the pitch a little bit. You've got two catching there on the offside. The plan was set, executed well, just didn't go to the fielder.
Keep coming in, Cracks. Come on, buddy.
A little bit of luck here from Hafiz. Again, just pushing out in front. Just chipped uppishly, but just short of one of those catching covers. That's the area that has just troubled him a little bit in the last couple of overs against Mitchell Starc. Got a couple of thick outside edges that have gone down to third man. He just pushes out in front of his body a little bit too much.
Well, he's setting him up beautifully, Mitchell Starc. Got 4 catches around the bat. That ball shaping away and then the odd one coming back into him. There it is. Oh, just wide of Tim Paine. Some beautiful bowling from Mitchell Starc. There's not a lot in it there for him. He's just getting that ball to tail away a little bit. Just too wide to Tim Paine. Frustration for the Aussies. 185 without loss.
सुपर वीकली प्लस पर 5000 MB सिर्फ 156 रुपए में। एक्टिवेशन के लिए *20# मिलाएं। एक नई ऑफर, एक नया ख्वाब। Zong 4J। अब सुपर वीकली प्लस पर 5000 MB सिर्फ 156 रुपए में। एक्टिवेशन के लिए *20# मिलाएं। एक नई ऑफर, एक नया ख्वाब। Zong 4J।
Good couple of overs there from Mitchell Starc. No luck going his way. Nearly every gap through that offside. That's where the ball's gone. Good running.
Yeah, here's the last ball again from the previous over. Starc has terrorised that outside edge on a number of occasions in the last 2 overs, but they just can't seem to go to hand. 2 have gone past Gully. That one just past Tim Paine, who can't believe it. It's the game sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes it just doesn't quite go your way, but you have to remain positive. Just keep going, because it can change. And when it changes, it can change quickly.
And as a captain, you don't want to be chasing the ball either. You don't want to be saying, oh, we need a first slip now. Oh, no, we need a third slip. No, we need a gully, you know. It is what it is sometimes. You can't have them everywhere.
I think the disappointing thing from an Australian perspective is that they were only going to be able to use Mitch Starc in those short bursts. 3 overs, possibly 4. They need to try and make inroads while he's having a real crack.
Oh, yes, John.
Yeah, and with his pace too, Mitchell Starc, he's the one that can force those little errors. When you're getting the pace of probably Pete Siddle and the ball's reversing, but you're probably not going to get the same impact. In the UAE, you need someone that bowls quick through the air. You need someone that bowls about 145. Because the pitches are so good.
Well, that's right. If he could have picked a wicket up in his first over of that short burst, then it gives him a crack at a new batsman. And you never know, then he could pick up 2 or 3 in a spell. And opposition teams will use that as a tactic. They'll say, OK, Mitch Starc's coming on. He's going to come on for a short burst. Let's make sure we knuckle down for the first two overs of his spell.
अब सुपर वीकली प्लस पर 5000 MB सिर्फ 156 रुपए में। एक्टिवेशन के लिए *20# मिलाएं। एक नई ऑफर, एक नया ख्वाब। Zong4j। गेम ऑन है। अब सुपर वीकली प्लस
And the thing with it is they have the most impact. You know, I think they have a bigger impact than someone that bowls 133. Nothing against Pete Siddle. He's been getting wickets in England on good decks and probably in Australia as well. But
well, I guess it's all about the balance.
And then you just open the bowling with Mitch Marsh and he bowls 4.
Peter Siddle's job certainly not to come in and blast the opposition out. It's to just hold and keep things tight. That's his role in the team. Bowlers that could come in and bowl at 145 plus. But it's all about each bowler having a role in the team. And this is the way the selectors have wanted to go. Get the balance of the team right with one workhorse, one out-and-out express bowler, a couple of spinners. It doesn't seem like they want to bowl Mitch Marsh too many overs. Try and protect him a little bit from his batting. Maybe his shoulder still isn't quite 100%, I'm not sure.
Around the wicket still to the right-hander. And first slip in place. You might say the horse has bolted, but he's back in.
Yeah, you did make the point, BJ, about chasing the ball a little bit. I thought they had a good plan in place. Probably still is the same plan. 2 catching covers, 2 gullies. Times it's best. OK, we've got a plan. Let's just stick to it.
Well, no. What you like. If he keeps it in nice and tight around the off stump, then that first slip will come into play. But if you bowl a lot wider, it'll go through gully. There it is, through that gully area. But he's got a 3rd man at least, so that's only going to cost him 2. I mean, I like this field better. I like the 3rd man, like the fine leg then, and then you got your 2 catches, you slip in your gully as well. I think that's a better option. He bowls better deliveries that go for 4 through that third man area.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's good field too. I actually like having the slip in place. One gully, a couple of catches in there in the cover region. So there's catches in place. As you can see, he's trying to get the batsman out, but there's also some protection. Where do you think the boundary's going to go? And it's most likely to go down to third man. So just protect that area.
So another fielder through the offside. And that's okay as well because he's bowling around the wicket to the right-hander. The one that'll go on the stumps will probably go down to fine leg.
But can I ask you, BJ, as a bowler now, are you thinking, okay, I'm less likely to feel like I can attack the stumps?
Well, look, yeah, you may think that in your mind, but you don't really need to attack the stumps because the angle anyway creates the batsman thinking the ball's coming in. That's a good shot. Ball wasn't that bad, but it was well pitched up in the half volley, and it was just a push through the off.
Just waited for it. Timing was perfect and the placement was excellent as well. A good balance. But you could see that was a little bit wider. And I just wonder well, now we can see Mitch Marsh has actually gone back across to the leg side. So I just wonder, just subconsciously, if you think, okay, well, I can't really afford to attack the stumps because I've got less men on that leg side. So I prefer this field with the extra man on the leg side.
Injury in that third test match in Cape Town. He's had a bit of a break, so he's starting to get back into his game as well. And a pitch like this, there's no room for error. Not as if they're flying through.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The margin for error is very small for the bowlers. Tough conditions. Hafiz has been in great touch as well. In fact, the last 10 test match innings here in the UAE, he's scored 400s and 190. So he loves playing here as well.
The delivery.
एक्टिवेशन के लिए *20# मिलाएं। एक नई ऑफर, एक नया ख्वाब। Zong4
Well, you don't need to at this stage of the game. You've got Australia right where you want them. You can wait until almost after lunch tomorrow and then really up the ante. But I think Pakistan will try and score as many as they can in this first innings, really grind Australia down and try and bat big and bat
from Imran. He has produced some very good shots. That's his.
अब सुपर वीकली प्लस पर 5000 MB सिर्फ 156 रुपए में। एक्टिवेशन के लिए *20# मिलाएं। एक नई ऑफर, एक नया ख्वाब। Zong4J.
was in his wheelhouse and got made great contact. Beautiful shot. He knew as soon as he made contact with that ball, it was going out of here.
Well, he opens the batting for Pakistan in the one-day internationals. got 100 on debut against Sri Lanka, so he can play some big shots. And he's been particularly aggressive against John Holland today. Most of the Pakistan tenth 100 for Pakistan, and his partner there, Imam, and a wonderful start, 199 without loss in the first 2 sessions of play on day 1 of this first test.
Loosen up, Finchy.
Tough going for the Australians. I mean, tough work. Probably the pick of the bowlers in that session would have been Mitchell Starc in the last couple of overs. A couple of outside edges, a couple in the air past the field, but not to be for this.
Australian bowlers have toiled hard. Yeah, Mitch Starc's been pretty good. Attacking.
And the Australians have bowled short, they've jumped all over it, and the bowled wide, they've placed it over through the field, but they've been good with their feet as well.
Yeah, both batsmen have played the spinners well. Imam has used his feet extremely well to the spinners, coming down the pitch and then getting very deep as well. There's a couple of little chances that went down. This was the one from Mitch Marsh, probably just a little bit too far off the road, couldn't quite hang on. Go on to score a magnificent 100.
Well, they had that period, didn't they, Huss, where there were a couple of shady shots, and probably the heat was getting to them as well, and then they buckled right down. Mitchell Starc bowled a good little spell of bowling at 3 overs, around the wicket to the right hand, and got the ball to